Hello everyone, my name is Xander Fabiano from grade 12 ICTB, and we're gonna be talking about chapter 1 in your research paper. Have you ever wondered what research is all about? Or what's inside chapter 1 in your research paper? Don't worry, I got you. Now let's start with the basics. What is research? Research is simply a systematic way of finding answers to questions. It's like being a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're solving problems or discovering new things. In school, we use research to investigate topics we're curious about, like how does social media affect students, or how lacking personal devices can affect a student's academic performance. Now let's talk about chapter 1 of your research paper. Chapter 1 of your research paper is where you explain what your research is all about. It's like a preview or a sneak peek. Background of the study. This part gives more detailed information about the issue being studied. This part explains how the topic came to your attention, what problems or observation led you to choose it, and what past studies or events may be related. The background supports your purpose and gives depth to your study by showing how it connects to real-world situations. It's also the first and most important part of a research study. It serves as a foundation of your paper where you introduce your topic, explain its relevance, and present the overall direction to your research. This chapter helps the reader understand what you are trying to study, why the topic matters, and how you plan to conduct this research. This part of the chapter 1 is where you dig deeper. You find studies that are related to support your research paper. And now this is the structure of your background of the study. Your first paragraph is your research problem. This is a short but direct statement that clearly explains the main issue or concern your research wants to address. In your second paragraph is also your research problem but in a global state. And for your third paragraph is also your research problem but in a local state, like in your country or where you live. And for your fourth paragraph is your introduction. Here you talk about your topic and why it matters. In making of your background of the study, make it at least 4 paragraphs. Conceptual framework. This is a visual or a written explanation that shows how the key variables in your study are related. It helps both you and your readers understand what you're trying to measure or investigate. This part of your chapter 1 can be optional. It only applies when you use a quantitative research. Statement of the problem. It clearly presents the main questions your study aims to answer. It usually starts with a broad research question followed by a specific sub-question that break down the main problem into small parts. These guide your research and help you stay focused on the topic. This part is one of the most important parts of your research paper. It explains the specific questions your research wants to answer. Hypothesis. If you are doing a quantitative research, you need to include a hypothesis. This is a prediction about the possible relationship between two variables, such as social media use and academic performance. The hypothesis is usually written in 2 forms. The null hypothesis, which assumes no effect or relationship between the 2 variables, and the alternative hypothesis, which assumes there is an effect or a relationship between the 2 variables. Scope and delimitations. This part explains what is included and excluded in your study. The scope refers to the coverage of your research, such as who your participants are, what subjects are studied, and what time period is covered. The delimitation refers to the limitation or boundaries, such as only focusing on one school or only a certain grade level. This helps the readers understand the extent of your study. This part sets boundaries to your research paper. It tells us what is included and what is not. Significance of the study. This part explains who will benefit from your research and how. You should mention specific groups like students, teachers, school administrators, or future researchers, and explain why your study is valuable to them. This shows the purpose and usefulness of your research in the real world. This part explains who will benefit from your research. Will it be students, teachers, or the school? And lastly, definition of terms. This part provides clear and simple definition for keywords or concept used in your research. This ensures that readers understand your study without confusion, especially when you use technical terms or words that may have different meanings. And that's it everyone, now you know what is inside the chapter 1 of your research paper. And thank you for watching, I'm gonna see you on the next video.